Hi friends, welcome to this class. So in last class we were discussing about papaverine, right? And we determined the structure of papaverine. Now we know the structure of papaverine, right? So this is the structure. So it is like this. Isoquinoline is there, right? Which is aromatic. Here OCS3, and here I have CH2, and here I have benzene ring again. And here OCS3 and OCS3. So this is the structure of papaverine. Now scientists what they did, they synthesized this papaverine within the lab, right? So these are naturally available. Papaverine is naturally available in some plants, right? So these are nothing but alkaloids, but they wanted to synthesize it in lab only. So scientists they independently synthesized by Bischer-Napierski reaction. So this reaction you might have heard while synthesis of this isoquinoline, right? So this the same name reaction they made use of, right? So if you say retrosynthesis means we have the final product, we break the final product into some components to get the initial reagent, starting material. That is nothing but retrosynthesis. So see here I can break this all structure, I can break like this. See here I can break this chain here like this. I will get, these are the starting materials. So this is nothing but retrosynthetic arrow we call, right? So about retrosynthesis I have made so many videos, and those are available in my YouTube channel. You can watch there, right? So here I will break like this. See here. So I will take, these are the starting materials, OCS3, and here CH2, NH2. So this one starting material I will take, and here I have CH2 and containing this benzene ring, and here OCS3 and OCS3, right? And here I will take COCl, right? If I make use of these two reagent, right, here I cleared the bond, and I got these things, and this pi bond I can bring it later. Here it will get pi bond, right? So if you count the number of carbon, everything will get the same as this papaverine, right? So however, if I combine this, I will get the my target molecule. We call this as target molecule because we want this thing from this starting material reagent. So I am doing it reversely. So this is nothing but retrosynthesis. Retrosynthesis it is. Right. So these are the starting material. So let me take this starting material. Right. So my starting material is these things. So OCS3, CH2, and NH2. To this I will add this compound. So it is CO, Cl and CH2. It is CH2, and here we have got benzene ring, right? And para position OCS3 and meta position OCS3, right? So this is the starting compound. So this reaction here, lone pairs will be there, so it will attack here. This pi electron density goes to oxygen, again come back, and chlorine is a good leaving group, it leaves the system, right? So this reaction we call it as Bischer-Napierski reaction, which will give us this isoquinoline molecule, right? So this is the simple reaction, right? So here I will get this carbon, this nitrogen attached, and here I have Cl left the system. CO group should be there. Let me see it and write, so that here no bond formation happened. This bond is not there, right? So nitrogen carbon bond formation happened, and it has got double bond O, and here it has CH2, and other things remains as it is. Para position OCS3, meta position OCS3, and here also OCS3, other things remains as it is, right? So this is the structure we got, right? Further what they will do, they will add P2O5 and they will heat the reaction. We know that phosphor has more affinity to oxygen. So here these oxygens are there, right? And this amide NH is there. This is amide, NHCO. What is amide? Because of resonance, this oxygen will be electron rich, and phosphor will form bond with this oxygen, right, like this. So this carbon will be electrophilic, because of which here pi bonds will be there, right? So they will react to this carbon, right? So this is nothing but Bischur-Napolonsky reaction only, simple reaction. So what we will get, see, simple reaction it is. So here it will form a bond like this, CH2NH, and here this carbon bond formation happened, carbon nitrogen is present as it is, and here O, it is attached to phosphor, right? Phosphor containing some group, no need to worry about them, right? Again CH2, other things remains as it is only, OCH3 and OCH3, right? And here this, since this pi bond gave to this carbon, this carbon gets positive charge and other things will remain as it is, OCH3 and OCH3, right? And this positive charge is stabilized by resonance like this. So you know those things, so I am not going to tell them, right? Further what I can do, this I told, phosphor oxygen affinity is very strong. I mean phosphor oxygen bond is stronger than this carbon oxygen bond. This is weak. So since phosphor is having more affinity to oxygen, it will take this electron density and goes out by forming P double bond O, right? So as soon as it takes this electron density, this carbon gets positive charge. So this nitrogen containing proton is there, right? So this electron density comes here and it will form pi bond, right? So can I write like this? See here. So it will be simple like N. This carbon double bond became. So oxygen went with this phosphor and other things CH2, other things remains as it is. Para position OCH3 and meta position OCH3, right? And here I have positive charge, right? And other things remains as it is, OCH3 and OCH3. But one thing you should remember, whenever this is anti-aromatic, because see, 4 pi electrons which are in conjugation, we call it as anti-aromatic, right? So to make it aromatic, what it will do, this deprotonation happens, this electron density moves here and it will get pi bond, right? So this positive charge will become neutral. So shall I write both things? So here formation of this pi bond and this pi bond happens simultaneously. So I can call it as re-aromatization, because initially it was aromatic, now it is anti-aromatic, now it became aromatic, right? So I will call this step as re-aromatization, right? Because it again became aromatic as it was initially, right? So this was the reaction. Further, I should get this piperine. To get this piperine, what I required? I required a pi bond here, right? Which was here, right? So to get that pi bond, I should add some oxidizing agent, because if I remove this hydrogen and this hydrogen, one I will take hydride and I will take proton. So here I will get pi bond, right? So to remove these two hydrogen, I can use some reagents like DDQ. DDQ means dichloro dicyanoquinoline. Its structure will be like this. It is highly electron deficient. It acts as oxidizing agent. CN, dichloroquinoline, DDQ. Right? If I make use of this, I will get this piperine. Structure you know, so I am not going to write the structure of piperine. Simply I will write piperine. And also not only DDQ, there are so many reagents, and here they have used, see here, instead of DDQ they have used palladium and maintain the condition around 200 degrees Celsius. If they heat, dehydrogenation happens, that is nothing but removal of this 1H and this 2H, that is minus H2. Means one will be removed as H plus and other will be removed as H minus. Total if I call, I can write it as H single bond H, or I can call it as H2. So these steps, DDQ also do the same, or palladium at 200 degrees Celsius, if I heat this compound, dehydrogenation happens, that is nothing but removal of this H2 molecule. It can be H plus H minus, or however you can understand it. So these two hydrogens are removed and we will get pi bond here, that is nothing but my piperine. So this is the independent synthesis given by the scientist in lab, right? So see here, if you see, there are so many steps, right? So here if to make this pi bond, they are adding one more reagent, DDQ or palladium at 200 degrees Celsius. But further scientists, what they did, initially they started with this, right? So further just they modified. Don't start with this, just you add here ketone here. the C double bond of ketone like this. If you start with this compound, you can eliminate the last step, that is addition of DDK or palladium at 200 degrees Celsius, because when these compounds are heated at 200 degrees Celsius, some of the products may decompose, right? So to avoid that, so yield was very less. To avoid that, what they did, they modified. Starting instead of like this, they added this ketone group, right? So let me give you synthesis with this ketone group, right? So all the steps are same, only little difference will come. So here what I will get, I will be having C double bond O, right? C double bond O. Otherwise let me rub it and write it. I hope you understood it, right? So to avoid the last step, what they did, they added like this. So they started with this compound, just modified by adding C double bond O and started with it. So what they will get, they got this thing. So simple reaction, nitrogen carbon bond formation, chlorine leaves the system. Other things I will write as it is only. So here OCS3, OCS3, here double bond O is there, CH2, here NH is there, here nitrogen carbon bond is formed and chlorine left the system and double bond O is there as it is, and CH2 and again benzene ring with OCS3 and OCS3, right? So this is the product they will get. Further what they did, to reduce this compound, ketone compound, they added this thing, sodium in presence of hydrogen, right? So this act as reducing agent, because sodium will give electron density to this, right? And it will make this ketone into secondary alcohol, that is, it will make this ketone into OH. And one thing you should remember, you may ask, sir, why it won't reduce this C double bond O? No, it won't reduce, because it is amide, it is not ketone, this is amide. Because of resonance, it doesn't have more positive charge at this carbon, right? So it is the chemoselectively, it reduces only ketone. So this thing you should remember, right? So it chemoselectively reduces ketone to form this product. So it will form second alcohol, means OH will be there and H will be added, right? And other things, NH will remain added as it is, CO, CH2, benzene ring, OCS3 and OCS3, right? So next up, when you heat with P2O5, right? So here bond formation happens, rearomatization happens, everything as we did in the last synthesis, right? So this thing, it is clear to you. And here also P2O5, I have told, it has more affinity to oxygen. So here OH is there, so it will bond to this. So here as soon as phosphor bonds here, right? So phosphor oxygen bond is very strong. So what happens? This hydrogen will leave as it is and this bond will be taken. So immediately, without that all step, we will get this piperine only. So what we will get? So here rearomatization happened and this carbon-carbon bond formation also happened, right? Carbon-carbon bond formation also happened and other things remains as it is, CH2, OCS3 and OCS3, right? And here also OCS3 and here N double bond N bond formation also happened, because this oxygen is taken by phosphorus. During that, this nitrogen hydrogen bond is broken and this electron density comes here and pi bond. And I told phosphor will take this secondary alcohol also with that. During that, again here also it will get pi bond and directly we will get this piperine. So this is the structure of piperine. So these were the independent synthesis of piperine, right? So this is about the alkaloid, that is piperine. In next class, let us see one more alkaloid or few more alkaloids. Till then, take care and have a great day.